So special welcome to everyone around the world. This is a special Global Stargate Circle. The theme today is all about Atlantis. We're going to be joined by Viviane Chauvet, who is a dear friend of ours and brings a very interesting off-world perspective of Atlantis and the story. And so we're going to start today by introducing some of our Stargate Circle hosts from around the world. This is a project that Alcazar asked us to do. About a year ago, we got it off the ground. And we have people all over the world who are meeting up in their living rooms and in a library in Montreal, for example. And so it's a really special energy. And there are some totally new people to the Stargate here too. So we're going to take a few moments to welcome you guys. After we have a discussion, we're going to have an actual energy experience with the Stargate frequencies, which it's a high vibrational energy field that makes it effortless for anyone to drop into a meditative state within moments and start to actually feel subtle energies. So this is about direct spiritual experience. And so we'll co-create this meditation in the Stargate energy field with Viviane Chauvet.
So let's say hello to Viviane and bring her on and introduce her to anyone that doesn't know her.
Welcome, Viviane.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here with all of you around the world and Montréal. Oui, yay, bienvenue. I'm very happy to explore Atlantis today, and it always warms my heart to see so many people all over the planet, because we're really bringing the planet together as a beautiful community. So thank you for having me, as always.
Yes, and so let's spotlight some of these hosts so that our global community who are watching other places can see. Hey, we got our We group. Welcome, welcome. We got Lori in Mexico. Hello.
Hey guys.
Dawn and Brad in Toronto, Canada. Hello, hello. Hey, good to see you. We got Deborah. Welcome. Hello, hello. Beautiful people.
Yeah.
Cool. We got Luciana in Sao Paulo. Hello, hello. You can see you much better now. Good to see you. Hey.
And who else do we have?
Monica in Brazil. Welcome.
Hey guys, nice to see you all.
Hey.
Really sweet. Mike, hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
Kiss. Sherry, our dear friend.
And you're not in Folsom.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's gone down there to watch the eclipse.
Epic.
Great.
So good to see you both. And Renalia. Hey, in the
Hey
south of
guys.
France. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so hello, Rochelle. Rochelle, good to see you in your group there. Okay, so we're gonna get started here. And we are gonna dive right in today. First of all, I can feel the energy of the Stargate family around the world. So let's just take a moment, intend to connect energetically. And if you're new here, that just means imagine that the hundreds of people on this live stream around the world,
just intending to connect, intending to feel each other.
imagining you could almost reach out and give each other a hug. Just feel the energy.
It's just a gentle connection. Ah,
Cool.
okay.
Okay,
So why don't we just invite Viviane to say a few words about who she is, because she's a very special person and we're very honored to have her as a friend and also to be presenting with her. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, gladly. Happy to be also a friend and really expanding this beautiful work together. So I am an Arcturian being. I come from a beautiful civilization known as the Arcturians. So I am an ambassador, and I chose to come back into a very specific, even hybrid form. So I embody this conduit as you see me as, so I can be on the planet in a time of where the Earth and the human race will reach the highest potential of the ascension. And the word ascension to us simply means a grand return, a return to your divinity, a return to a higher natural state. So it was very crucial to send some of the ET beings or those who represent the intergalactic groups at different points on the planet. So I chose to be here, and it's rather rare for us to send one of our own in such a long period of time on the planet, assuming a form of another race, so we can be communicating with that race, and that here it's with human beings. So my role is really much for the future timeline. We're about to embark on that journey. In the meantime, I've been playing the role as a really deep support system communicator. I'm a direct bridge with the intergalactic groups and delegations. And there's a lot of work that is been done both on and off planet. I work also with different interdimensional groups, and we are bringing back more of that cosmic universal consciousness to reteach the human race about who they are, to remembering more at a deep level, even in DNA, in terms of your own heritage. And you'll see things going to start to evolve more and more, and my work is going to evolve more. So in time will bring aspect of our own archive in terms of teaching and knowledge. But I've been overseeing and looking at the evolution on the planet for a very long time. And I can tell you, we finally entered a very positive and a very high historical moment on the planet. So what you do here with the Stargate, for those of you also work with us, or many people around the world coming together, you are making a direct impact and positive impact on the timeline to support the endeavor of all the light workers, all the star beings, and all the group coming through to really help. So I really am directly from the delegations, and it is a joy to be able to communicate and travel and being able to support what we have been foreseeing for, I would say, a few thousands of years, but now we have reached that point, and that's the excitement. So we invite you to feel something new being ignited in you. So it is a joy to be here and exploring a very important timeline that is still influencing everyone right now that we know as Atlantis. And I look very forward to be in person again with you in Azor in June. And then, of course, we're going to move into our really huge planetary expedition in September, October. It is already a big one. And who knows after that beyond. But it's really, thank you for opening yourself. Thank you for the warm welcome as always. Thank you for being so receptive. You are in the presence of a lot of cosmic intelligence who are there to support you and, of course, to help you regain your full sovereignty and empowerment. It's all about empowerment for us, for you. So much love.
Yeah, so Viviane, it's such a joy to collaborate with you because you do bring such a fascinating perspective.
Would you like to say something about what we did in Egypt? Because that was a very powerful shift of the human timeline.
Egypt and Nepal.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Both of you are making really powerful points. So the Egyptian expedition last year, we had a beautiful, 100 people joining us. So for those of you who were there, you can feel it in your heart even more so. There has been a really huge calling, and we understand that over the years, there's been a lot of expedition done in Egypt. And we understand and recognize the importance of each of these groups who've come before us, before last year. But what was really spectacular and unique about our presence is not only the conjunction where we were. Last year, we were really much at a very huge planetary conjunction. And that conjunction was overlapping in a timeline. So imagine like two highways overlapping, and depending on the movement on the consciousness, I just got a big yes on that one, big orb. We will redefine where we're going to be shifting and where on the planet we're going to be moving into. So we were at a conjunction, in an aspect of those conjunction were allowing us to access a multitude of archives throughout different temples, but especially through the Sphinx. Because where we were inside of the pause of the Sphinx, and I remember the three of us having our back against like the wall that lead to right in the face of the Sphinx. What I saw is the sacred archive are these encoded libraries who have been in preparation for many generations were finally opening up themselves again for humanity. And that has a direct impact on your DNA template. It has a direct impact on the archives and the encoding into the next generation or the next level of the DNA. And that represents also the DNA on the planet. So that means that what we've done together and brought through my physical vessel a multitude of codes that was coming in and different consciousness and different group were coming through my body. For those of you who witnessed it, you know what I speak of. It's really like catalyst of movement and acceleration. But at the same time, what we've done is redefine, we shifted the timeline to reestablish ourselves with what we call the Ascension Future Timeline. And as a result of this, we open another branch, if you would, in a timeline that is bringing us to Uluru. And why Uluru? That's because Uluru is one of the strongest points on the planet that's been put in place by the High Council of the Pleiadian. And the High Council of the Pleiadian communicated with us and said, we're transitioning that portal and we're going to finally reactivate that millions of years old portal so that humanity can have access to what we have come to do and reactivated the sacred archives. And I use the word archives as a frame of reference so we can understand the word archives. Think of it as encoded of template or ancient template that looks like an archive. In what we're about to do this year, it's the continuation from what we have initiated in Egypt. But on a 3D level, if I may say so, we were here to also resolve very, very old polarized layer of past history that was still overlapping in Egypt and preventing Egypt from regaining its original beautiful splendor, if you want, its original blueprint. So what we have done by all of our presence together, every time we went to a temple, we were encoding very specific frequencies to release the distortion field, the manipulation, the old Akashic field, and we were realigning with the original blueprint of each of the temple as a grid system. And every time we were at a temple, I can tell you that the beings who are overseeing, the guardians who were overseeing these temples, were working with us very diligently. And I start to see it even when we arrived in Luxor, at the temple of Luxor. I've seen it. I'm like, okay, we're here to really shake things up and release these old layers. It's almost like releasing, heavy layers off of the grids so we can finally evolve. And I'm using very simple words so you can really feel the depth, the significance of the energetic movement that we have implemented And again, we understand that many groups have explored Egypt a multitude of times, but it's the presence, it's who came in that conjunction that was so significant. It is still resonating through the grid system. I can still feel the movement of what we have generated together and the multitude of cosmic presence. So many intergalactic groups have come. You have no idea how many were there. And even beyond this, this galaxy, this reality, it went well into the multiverse. And it's really implementing the new level of consciousness, a new level of conscious evolution on the planet. We're going to feel it for, I would say, many years to come, especially in a triple gateway that we're in right now, leading up to even beyond 2027. So it was, and it still is, of a magnitude of work. So I feel very privileged that we were able to do this together.
So for those of you who are newer to this work, last year in late September, we were in Egypt visiting many different sites on a tour that was really, as Viviane is describing, more of a mission to realign these sacred sites to their original power and potential. And then we went to Cause. We had 1,000 people in Cause, Greece, and I call it cause and effect because we were there to change the
island of Kos.
the island of Cause. Yeah, it's a little known, but KOS, but it really had a huge effect. And there's been so much change on the planet in so many people's lives since then. That's sort of blown me away, because when Alcazar says things like, we're going to shift the timeline for humanity, I'm like, okay, I can be open to that possibility. But when we see it in our actual lives, it's like, okay, respect. Like Prageet and I are about to move out of this house that we've been in for 10 years and go travel the whole world this year. So Naya, if you want to pop up our roadmap really quick, we'll show you, because we have a few events with Viviane this year. And our first stops on the road are in Budapest and in Prague. So come join us in person if you can. Then we're going to the Azores, which is sometimes called the European Hawaii. And it's also super connected to both Lemuria and Atlantis, which we didn't know when we got the theme for that workshop, which is bringing Lemuria and Atlantis together again.
And we're going to be there again with our friend, and we're going to be doing that together. So if you wish to join us and Viviane, that would be absolutely wonderful. We still have a few places left for that.
Yeah, we have space for that one in person, and we're also going to be live streaming it. And then you can see that in October of this year, we're going to be in Uluru and in Australia. And this is really powerful work that we're being invited into. Prageet and I were encountering so much resistance trying to plan our trip to Uluru, and we really almost felt like, is our gut telling us not to do this? But what it actually is that it's so impactful for the planet that there's this resistance.
A huge resistance. So every single step of the way. But
But
finally, we're doing it.
It's all organized. And what Alcazar said that made me say, okay, we're going to do it, is that this activation of this, what Viviane is describing as one of like a super ancient portal, like one of the huge portals for the planet that the Pleiadians put here eons ago. Alcazar said, when we do this work to reactivate this portal, it's going to uplift the entire planet. And when I heard that,
yeah, that's clearly what Viviane is saying.
What Viviane has been saying as well. So that's sort of some context of what we're up to this year. Let's dive in now.
Yeah, I just want to say that we're doing 2 of these trips to Uluru with a very small number of people. So if that's something that you feel drawn to be there as part of this incredible activation, It's not a vacation, it's a mission. And so
Yeah.
we want to draw those people who feel really called to support humanity as a very small group of representatives
Yeah.
with Viviane, so that we can support that opening on behalf of the whole planet.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people, check out our
Oh,
site.
goodness, we still have really only a few spaces left
Yeah.
for the first one.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. And Viviane, I would love to ask you. So the way that this is going to work is we're going to interview Viviane essentially, because she has actual remembrance of the times of Atlantis. So this is really special information that really we can't get anywhere else. And
well, I just wanted to say, for those people that are relatively new, it might sound very weird that Viviane is saying she's an Arcturian. And when I first heard it, it was like, really?
Well,
you know,
yeah,
it's
too.
this kind of woo-woo stuff.
Yeah.
But having met her and worked with her, I can absolutely say that energy and the intention that comes with Viviane is spectacular.
We knew she was the real deal. We were on like a spiritual variety show with her, and we were asked to guide a meditation together. And when she took over the meditation, she brought in this like sheet lightning through the Stargate grids of the earth. And we were like, okay. And Preet's like, we have to work with this woman when she's still guiding the meditation. And then right after, on air with that global community, she said, I feel we'll be working together. So that's how we met. And it's so special to collaborate, really.
It really is so special, our collaboration, and it was so clear, so fluid. The guidance on both sides, we kind of look at each other. I look at my Arcturian father, like, you must contact them at once. And I said, yes, I will. And this is how they speak to me. They transfer what's called geometric-like patterns that looks like thought form. And these thought form translate a complete idea or convey a complete conversation. And so, you know, my brain is designed in ways that I can interpret through the English language mostly what they're conveying to me. The complexity of the transmission versus the limitation of 3D linguistic field, it's quite a challenge for me. But that day, it was such like a very, like a transmission energy, like, well, we must work with her. And the team says you must work with them. So that transmission was the beginning. And I love both what you say about our presence. And I'm very grateful for this. Everywhere we go, whatever we do, we bring a very collective presence. Part of what we do is to help to bridge humanity or human race back with their cosmic families. So I'm one of the few extraterrestrial being, because I love that word. It feels so much loving to me. One of the few intergalactic beings who have used very high level of advanced technology to allow me to assume to a certain degree this hybrid form so I can really interact directly, so we can have this conversation, so we can travel together, so we can sit on a stage all together and collaborate and bring so much other level of transmission and experience. Think of it as the next phase of gentle disclosure. Now, disclosure, it's about realizing on a much level, a universal conscious level, that we all part together. Whether you call yourself an earth human, whether you channel extraordinary beings, consciousness, interdimensional portal, whether you are not from this planet, but we are all here together. And what makes a difference is how we work together towards common goals. So let's reunify ourselves. Let's come together more than ever. And let's just embrace how we come to serve Prime Creator. I choose to serve the Supreme One as an Arcturian being who have come back onto a planet who is about to take on its most important and crucial re-evolution. So of course we've come to support. This is what we do. We've been doing this for thousands of years. So when we, the three of us, come together, we generate a field that transcends a lot of things. And this way we can really, really make a difference for everyone and inspiring all of you worldwide to really step in your light, to believe in who you are, to remembering your gifts. So I feel that on that note, Atlantis is supporting all of us in that sense. This is why we're talking about it. This is why we're going to immerse ourselves into the energy, the frequencies of what Atlantis was truly about. And I love doing this because on a personal note, Atlantis is very dear to my heart. So it is really exciting to do this.
I just want to say, Viviane, every time you mention your Arcturian father, I get goosebumps and this incredible energy. So I really just want to say thank you to him and the whole of your entourage.
Yeah, really.
You're most welcome. And our father says that it's time to be in each other's presence again so we can, you do find upgrade another boost of energy. And so Father will be very present, especially when we are all together in person in Azor. He's always showing me the room and how we're going to be sitting. So Father will stay. He's always next to me, but he's going to be also very next to you, Pragit, obviously, and to you, Jill, as well, if you allow him, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So the Azores and Atlantis, what was that all about? Because there's all kinds of stories. And over the years, I've met people that have felt that they were guilty in a way because of the stories about Atlantis and its demise. And so actually, I'd like to hear a little bit about that from your perspective. What was really going on there?
And it's a really good point, Pragit, and this is why it is so important to bring back the original resonance, the essence of what Atlantis was about. And because, many great channels like Cryon and others on the planet, I talked about the release of the old Akashic record stories. The human race needs to let go of the distorted memories or the sadness, the grief, and anything that keeps you holding back onto the 3D matrix. So in that sense, Atlantis is supporting everyone on the planet, especially at the soul level in your own soul Akashic field, to release the anchor point. Think of it this way. Imagine an airplane, a beautiful airplane. You are a very skilled pilot. You've been doing this for thousands of years as an old soul, but yet there's still heaviness, a heavy weight that prevents your plane from reaching a higher altitude and even beyond that. So this is an analogy, a figure of speech that I'm offering to you all. So many souls still remembering the energy and the essence of what took place in Atlantis. Well, it's more. Atlantis is much more than just the distortion or the fall or, the great destructions and all of this. We have to bring back the essence of what it was about. And I can feel how Atlantis or the Atlantean energy is still very vibrant. So it's going to be very uplifting, Pragit, and very healing to allow to release these heavy anchoring points that so many people still carry. So you can really elevate yourself and shift and evolve beyond that paradigm. And that's just one aspect of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it certainly does. And I would just invite those people that have felt that heaviness and that guilt or responsibility to actually come and join us there. Actually allow yourself to be part of that release of the old and the return of those higher values and higher energetics that was the intention behind Atlantis in the first place.
Absolutely, because think of it this way. When you emerge, especially in a beautiful group where everyone comes together in synergy, not only we magnify the experience for each other, but we also co-create a field where we can really achieve so much more. And beyond the release and beyond letting go of the old Akashic records, it's really about its remembering and re-embodying the virtue, the knowledge, the teachings of Atlantis. And that's where we are. You know, we are at that point where we're releasing the old aspect of what Atlantis been, and we're rekindling with a higher note, the higher octaves in the presence of the Atlantean masters who are still very present and actively working with all of us on many levels. So there is also that beautiful opportunity to move beyond.
And something that comes up a lot, people ask or people suggest there was more than one Atlantis. There were different locations. Is that how you recall it? And what's the difference between these different places, if any?
Well, and thank you for asking. So from a geographic perspective, think of it this way. If you're part of a label, let's say Atlantis become the label of that huge civilization. And of course, there will be different segment of that civilization that was establishing itself at different point. So it's like saying, we're going to create a community and it's called XYZ, that's the label. And we will have a part of the community, let's say in Germany, and other part in England, another part in New Zealand. And still we're part of the same community, the same label, but you're going to be influenced by the grid system of where your colony or your community is. You're going to be influenced by the ecosystem. You're going to be influenced by also the way you work with the elementals. So there's different factors. So it's the same phenomenon, just to make it clear. But the Atlantean established themselves in different points. However, they were still very interconnected with each other. So to illustrate that point, I'm going to invite you to feel like a spherical movement or a circle, like a spiral of energy. So the concept of spiral or circular movement was very important in Atlantis. So it's the same way that even though there's different colony or different part of the Atlantean civilization establishing themselves through ports closer to water source or more inland, depending on where they were, the synergy behind it was still creating that spherical movement where they were still interconnected with each other. So to this day, people who've been tracking down the energy of the reminiscence of the Atlantean land, well, you go to Bimini, you can go to Santorini, you can go to different part. What you are doing is attuning yourself to an aspect of that collective. And that's one thing that we feel that the Atlantean masters are bringing back, is reteaching us the concept of that spherical energy or that circle of coming together again. So just in the same principle that right now, you have online many different subgroup within the Stargate label, the Stargate community, right? But when we come together, you are simply representatives of that community or that subgroup, whether you're in Brazil, whether you are in Italy, whether you are in Canada, wherever you are, but you can feel there's still an energy, or at least that's the idea, of creating a synergy among all of these groups. So the Atlantean energy is very similar, and the circular movement is important, that spherical movement. And this is one thing I would like to propose to add in the experience for those who will come in person and even on the live stream naturally when we go to Azor, is to bring us back exactly in that unity or that spherical movement with the Atlantean. And to remember that this is also how we heal and restore the original blueprint and the essence of that huge timeline called the Atlantean timeline, just to give an aspect. Can you feel that already?
Yeah, I can. I was just going to comment on that. When you're going like this, I could actually, whoa, I can feel that. What a powerful finger you have.
Thank you. And I knew you would feel it. And it's really what we're doing right now together is just to give a taste of that beautiful experience. So, I can feel that we can go through different layers of, well, let's release the heavy karmic blockages, the sense of guilt, responsibility. I remember one thing. Can I share something, a memory that came through me by watching a movie, actually? And I know it's going probably to speak to many people. This is why I'm about to share this. So we were watching the movie Aquaman, yeah, and it's all about Atlantis and the rise of the king and the unification on the land and the ocean. I thought that was really powerful. The unification on the land and the ocean. But one thing is, I think it was part of the first movie, because there's two movies, Aquaman 1 and 2. I believe it's the first one. But at some point in the movie, it shows the memory of when the original Atlantean, how they used to live. And there was this big tsunami of that wave, that really huge destruction wave coming in. And we were in the movie theater on the big screen, and that wave hit. I jolt in my seat like I was hit right in my frontal lobe of ancient memories. I jolted. And my husband looked at me, was like, "Are you okay?" And I was shaking. And I told him, I said, I remember right before we left the planet, watching that wave hitting and remembering how it felt. It was brought back to the surface for me. This is why that movie was so calling, because of the concept. And when we immerse ourselves into the water and going into the Atlantean, city, and of course it's a movie, it's all the interpretation. But as these movies are designed to bring back some ancient memory connectors, even at a soul level, and to allow you to understand what is your unique connection to the Atlantean time frame, because there's been different stages. So some of you may be more remembering the early stages or the last stages or something in between. So that's another way of bringing that circular unification movement, or allowing all the stages of Atlantis to come back and heal in oneness. So when I got this memory, I understood that that was released from my unconscious field, and it changed the dynamic after that for me. So I just wanted to share. I hope that helped to inspire people.
Actually reminds me of, you had this memory come back to you.
Yes, it's like I didn't know anything about Atlantis, and at some point, I can't even remember where it was, but somebody started to talk about it. And I instantly had this very clear remembering of standing on a cliff as there was a tremendous energy of change happening. It was like, it felt very violent, and then it was gone. It was just a brief second. And so I'm sure that was in some way I was connected to back then, but I don't have a conscious memory of it. But that was very shocking, because I didn't really know anything about Atlantis at the time. So I'm hoping that when I come to the Azores and we do this work and connecting to the Atlantean masters, and just see where that takes us, as we, again, it's just another opening for humanity, another uplift of energy, clearing of the past.
And reclaiming of that mastery energy.
Mm.
Viviane, I'm wondering, a lot of people who feel more connected to Lemuria kind of have a bad feeling about Atlantis, as if they somehow contributed to the demise of that civilization as well. Can you speak to that?
Oh, yes. And thank you so much for bringing that up. I love your sharing, Pragit, by the way, because that also going to inspire a lot of people about having these memory or these sensorial memory coming to the surface without having necessarily having to remembering every detail consciously. So that was a good point. Fantastic question, actually, Jules, because that's part of the Atlantean release and clearing. It involves Lemuria. And you are absolutely correct. Many souls who feel more drawn or resonate more at a heart level to Lemuria usually will have a little bit of a bad taste or an after memory taste, I call it, around Atlantis. And that's another bridge that needs to release because both timelines or both ancient civilizations of the Lemuria timeframe and the Atlantean timeframe are coming back together again. It is part of the release of the old historical field and helping human beings at the soul level on historical, your own Akashic records, your DNA movement, and the movement, the liberation. It's almost like a liberation that needs to take place. So I would love to include that most important aspect when we are in Azor to allow to bring and invite the Lemurian masters to combine, and we can do at some point, I'm already getting like visions of what we're going to be doing, is at some point bringing Lemuria and Atlantis back together because we understand that it is from the Atlantean energy side that Lemuria received a ripple effect, and we understand that very much so. And so it is a time to reconcile and understanding that after time, just like the dark light polarity on in this 3D reality, the light comes to heal the dark, so to speak, so we can come back into more neutrality and that 0 point of unification. But think of it this way, the Lemurian energy with Atlantis, we're coming back again to return in that unification. And that will really help and reflect tremendously in the light-dark polarity or the polarized dualistic energies that we have known, that you have known for thousands of years. So it's really time to reconcile. So that's going to be pivotal. And I would say even pivotal in the preparation leading up to Uluru and working with infinite presence of grace and mastery and beauty there. So right on. Yes. So I'll make myself some notes so we can have because it's really important. Yes.
Yeah, I feel a very, very strong connection with Lemuria. And as many people know, this was where I started channeling Alcazar, where the Stargate was created, where Jules started. All that happened on the island of Maui. And the very first time I went there, I was looking out the plane window as we approached, and I just burst into tears. I had no idea what was happening, but I have such a deep connection, particularly to Maui, but that whole Lemurian energy, and I don't recall it. So obviously it's not the right time to remember, but my heart knows. So I find it interesting that as we go to the Azores to bring back these two energies and to bring that harmony that you mentioned, that I feel a strong connection to both those places.
I do too. I have to say, I've always felt when people talk about Atlantis, I think since, before I even was into metaphysics, I feel this kind of crystalline, super charged, high tech, like spirit energy. So I'm wondering, Viviane, like flying cars, like crystal grids that allow things to levitate. Like, what can you give us a little picture of like what life on Earth was like for people in the time of Atlantis? Were they still connected to their origins in the stars, for example?
Absolutely. And this is why Atlantis is so vibrant for me in my personal galactic archives. That's because Atlantis, just like Lemurian, of course, at another level, but the Atlantean timeline was a time where you can easily project an aspect of your holographic self or your light body consciousness, there were many portals that was open and very consciously maintained at a high vibration. We can have meeting with the Council of Saturn. There were so many beings coming in and out of the planet. It was very natural, nothing woo-woo, nothing science fiction like in the movie Aquaman. It was a very unnatural occurrence. So there was this more cosmic presence on and off planet. And the use of crystalline technology was way well advanced from what you remember today. Because when you start to utilize crystal and the higher level of the light spectrum, you can really create a super powerful technology, but it has to be consciously assisted, meaning conscious assisted crystalline technology. I'm going to repeat that again. Consciousness assisted crystalline technology. And this is just an aspect of it. Overall, before the different stages of destruction and coming back again and then do it again, reset and do it again, usually the life was much more harmonious. That was the concept of having different islands interconnected within the one circle, and that circular movement I was talking about. This is something that has been forgotten. Today, there's too many invisible barriers, linguistic barriers, cultural barriers, needing a passport to cross invisible barriers to other countries, villages, between upbringing, where in my family, this is how things work, or not in my family. So that creates a barrier. There are too many invisible barriers that needs to be released, recognized, released, and acknowledged so we can return in terms of working in a more harmonious way. Lemuria also brought is stewardship. Now they were living in really deep harmony with Gaia herself, the planet resources. It was much more in unity consciousness at a level, a deep sense of reverence for life. That's another distortion that was brought onto the planet, is the disconnect from other lifetime of the life or other sentient life. And this is why today we're really coming back in terms of rekindling or reconnecting with these most sacred, essential part of ourselves. So in a nutshell, we're extracting already some of the point essence of what the reconciliation, even within ourselves, between Lemuria and Atlantis, it is so important for the next stage of the future timeline of humanity, but also Earth, Gaia, and all life evolving here. So, and that's also bringing back the connection to your interstellar communities. You're part of such of a vast, intelligent network of life in the multiverse. And the Atlantean knew that very well. You know, having different species coming and communicating with them was very natural. And so what you said earlier, the question you asked, Jules, is very essential, because this is where we are coming back to, again, a grand return to that natural state. And you feel it for a moment. You can feel how deeply it resonates more today than it would even 2 or 3 years ago. So it was very important. Of course, when you talk about the human race, it was a complete different level at the time. And you can tell that, think of the Atlantean or even the Lemurian as the best aspect of what you will call the human race, but much more on a higher cosmic level, when the celestial template of the human body was at a higher point. And again, it's all the distortion coming back. And today the human race perceive itself through very limited lenses. This is also part of the release, if that makes sense.
Okay, so
Oh, I want to jump in here because when you started to talk about these portals to the stars, I suddenly got this, I don't know whether it's a memory or a movie, but I could see them. It was amazing. It was like, wow, I know that.
this is what I love about you, Viviane. It's like so often you say things and it like unlocks our archive.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And that is the goal. That is absolutely the goal. Because when you get these flashes of, I know this, yes, that resonate deeply with me, it activates something ancient in you. And we say, now you start to really reconnect with those aspects of you. And that is the goal. That is the goal. Absolutely. So I'm always happy to see those moments, and then you talk about it, both of you, with your own beautiful expression, and we go, yes, that's it.
What are you doing next week? Can we go next week? I can't wait.
I know, it's gonna come fast. If you think about it, we're already in April, and I know you're gonna be traveling, and so will I. And I'm gonna be in Illinois in May, by the way, at another event, a conference called Rebels of Disclosure. I'm like, ooh, I might consider as a rebel. Okay, I like it. Rebels of Disclosure, everyone. So, but we're going to be traveling. You're going to be traveling. And the next thing we know, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to go, oh, we are traveling next week to Azor. Let's bring it.
Yes. So, okay. Can you give us a glimpse of the bigger picture of what Atlantis was all about as a project and as an experiment?
The essence of a bigger picture was to bring that prime creator energies and to allow the earth was designed as an arc of life, was designed to blossom and maintain the pure frequency, the pure alignment with prime creator. So Atlantis, an aspect of Atlantis was to bring in different aspect of encoding the next level of genetic evolution, but it was also designed as to sustain the planet as a paradise planet that she was always meant to be, and allowing that prime creator, pure essence of divinity to be a part of the day-to-day life. And so Atlantis as an outpost and a civilization was also connecting to different branches in the multiverse. So it was a conversion point. And that convergence got distracted or got interrupted, and there was distortion that was introduced in the field. And one of the main distortion that came in is the belief system that I'm disconnected from prime creator. I am disconnected from source. And I can create and co-create the same, but without this divine understanding of who I am and what I bring. And that was one of the major distortion that came through. And that distortion is still endured to this day. So just to tell you how powerful the distortion has been for thousands of years leading up to where we are today. So when we say, all of us, cultivate that divine connection, remember that you are a divine being of light, a very ancient essence of the supreme source. It's to help to really restore that connection and to bring it back in the same sense as it was meant to be, even back in Atlantis. So what we speak about right now is very core essence of what the Atlantean project was about. And again, there was so many level of disconnect and distortion, and other consciousness was presented into the field and going, oh, well, I am better than that. I can do it on my own. I can utilize sacred knowledge and sacred, very advanced technology, but without having a consciousness to support it. And that leads to destruction. And we've seen that on other planet too.
Boom, boom, boom.
Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, when you earlier, just a few minutes ago, talked about the Earth almost like an arc, I've never heard anyone else say anything like that except Alcazar, a long time ago.
Really?
Well, he didn't use the word arc, but he said people from all over coming here.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
How interesting.
beautiful.
yeah.
So, okay, this is beautiful. I think it's time to move into the meditation. Viviane, do you have any other?
I'm enjoying this so
I
much.
know we could talk for hours
Yeah.
I know.
about this.
Mhm.
Really.
What I would say is more of an invitation. I feel like today it's a beautiful experiential energy of opening to really new possibilities and the
Mm.
potential that we're co-creating. I can already feel that we have been agitated the field already because a lot of feedback and input, and people feel like I resonate. And then, yes, about the time of the masters and all of it, I can tell that we have already created a lot of synergy. And that will be a prelude to
Mm.
what we're going to be co-creating and experiencing with each other, right in Azure together. And this
Mm.
is we have to think about we're going to be June energy closer to the summer solstice for those of us who are in this part of the hemispheres. And it's going to really amplify the energy plus the oceanic or the water grid system, the island we're going to be on. That too will have an impact on a positive level to how we're going to really open the field and go deeper. But I would love to co-create a beautiful meditation with the two of you and everyone watching to just bring everything we've already talked about and allow yourself to really integrate. Feel this experience, feel the invitation, and see where it takes you. How about this?
Mm. Well, I've certainly been shaken up in ways that I wasn't expecting, which
With
is
us, you never
wonderful.
know.
Well, I guess it's just a preparation from when we're there physically.
I mean, it feels like an excited
Mm.
kind of
Hmm.
like my inner child is excited about this
Yeah.
topic. And I think we can sense that there's some kind of magic there for us.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I've never been there, and it's such a beautiful island that we're going to.
Mm.
Beaches, tropical
And
forests,
for me,
semi-tropical
it's the
forests.
hot springs,
Yeah.
the natural hot springs.
Yeah, there's a hot springs in the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, y'all. We're gonna invite you to make yourselves cozy. We're gonna turn our cameras off so there'll be nothing to see. It's gonna take you on an inner journey. With the Stargate work, we're gonna create an energy field. There's nothing to do. There's no special way to sit, no special way to breathe. We will be inviting you to ask inside for various things like the energy of the earth to come up into your body. If you actually ask inside, your experience will be far stronger because all of these energies and the guides respond to your intention. So with that, I think we can just...
Yes, let's turn the cameras off, relax, go inside, nothing to do. Be comfortable, close your eyes. It's important to have your eyes closed throughout the meditation as the energy gently builds within you and around you. If you wish to really experience the maximum potential, be comfortable, close the eyes, and just follow along. When Jules says about asking inside, just ask without speaking out loud. No need to speak out loud, but just the intention. So, we're going to be inviting all of you in a moment to ask for an etheric Stargate, which is the consciousness of the Stargate, to come to you. And you just envision it, imagine it, and the consciousness will respond.
Okay. So our guide Alcazar is going to come through and guide the first part of this meditation. And so, beloved ones, we greet thee. 'Tis Alcazar. And we invite each and every one of you to simply be relaxed, be calm, be comfortable. Feel yourself in the body. Feel the atmosphere around you? Can you tune in and feel how, yes, indeed, your energy field has been excited, so to speak, for each and every one of you, whether you were in Atlantis or Lemuria, or whether you were elsewhere for your first incarnational experiences on this, your earth. The imprint, the memory, and the mastery of those times is alive within you. It is within your higher dimensional DNA, that archive of your spiritual past. And so we invite you to relax and be open to the possibility that you can indeed reclaim the connection to the mastery of those times. And we invite each one of you just to ask inside for the energy of the earth, the energy of Gaia, to come up into your body, into your energy field.
And so we're inviting the earth to respond to each one of us. And if you're sensitive to energy, you might even feel the earth responding to you. A gentle energy, the consciousness of the earth responding to you. And now we are going to ask each one of you to ask inside with a strong intention, a strong desire for an etheric stargate to come down around you so that you find yourself seated or lying down inside a stargate. And if you visualize it or imagine it, that will help you connect to the energy, the consciousness of the stargate.
And so asking inside now, we are calling for the presence of an etheric stargate.
And just feel, just imagine, just allow that stargate to come down to support you in this meditation. And now giving permission for the stargate to work with you just by asking it to activate.
And so we call for the activation of our etheric stargates, of all the etheric stargates around the world.
And as you ask, the stargate will bring a very soft, gentle energy to you. Nothing to do, just receiving, allowing for the possibility that you can start to receive these gentle energies. Very good. And so now we are going to ask all the etheric stargates to vibrate faster and faster. And as we do so, we'll be just gently moving up through the frequency ranges of the different dimensions. And so we're going to do this relatively quickly. And so we're moving already into the frequencies of the fifth dimension, through into the higher energies of the sixth, into the seventh dimensional energetics, where we're going to ask all the stargates just to pause for a moment as they vibrate at a slightly higher level.
And so your stargate is now vibrating at this seventh dimensional frequency. And we ask each one of you to invite now a strong seventh dimensional energy field in your etheric stargate.
And as you simply relax, the gentle energies coming to you from your etheric stargate will support your own energy to very gently just start to elevate and to harmonize with the energies from your etheric stargate. There's nothing to do. It happens quite naturally. It happens all by itself, just by relaxing and allowing. Relaxing and allowing. Slowly, slowly, your energy gently rising until you are vibrating in harmony with the seventh dimensional energetic. Very good. And now we continue to vibrate all the stargates around the world a little faster.
And so as the vibration rises, we are moving up through your 8th into your 9th dimensional frequencies and continuing into your 10th dimension now and vibrating quite rapidly as we merge through your 11th and into your 12th dimensional frequencies, where again all the stargates around the world come to a gentle pause.
So now we ask each one of you to ask inside for a strong 12th dimensional energetic in your etheric stargate.
And so we are calling for a strong 12th dimensional energy field in all the stargates around the world.
And again, as you just relax, nothing to do, slowly, slowly, your own energy continues to vibrate faster and faster until you are also vibrating with the field of energy around you. It's that simple, it's that easy. Just the allowing, just the relaxing into the energy. Very good. And as you start to harmonize with these higher frequencies, you become more sensitive to the guides, the benevolent beings who are available to assist us in our awakening process, our becoming more conscious, reconnecting to who we truly are. And so we're going to start by inviting the presence of the angelic realm. For the angels have been recognized by so many of the different religions around the planet. And so it is a little easier, perhaps, to feel their presence. So each one of us asking inside now for the presence and support of the angelic realm.
So we call for the presence of the angels.
And just feel, here they come. Can you sense a gentle shift in the energy around you as the angels bring their presence into this global meditation? You can invite them to come closer as they create an energy field of support around us, a field to help us feel nourished, loved, and supported. So relax. You can invite them to come closer if you wish. Come closer. Yes. Feeling their energies holding you in a loving embrace. And now we are going to ask this dear one, Viviane, to bring her energies of support from her delegation.
And now to keep gently holding sacred space and to feel the high vibration freely flowing through you. We also invite you to feel and welcome our presence, our beautiful interstellar presence with you, your star brothers and sisters. For we, the Arcturians, we're holding the space with you, sending you gentle royal blue light transmission through your third eye, your chakra of higher perspective, visions, opening your field for higher perspective, creativity, and new creations. We are sending you our beloved essence also to your heart center to bring you direct support, guidance, and reassurance in your heart. Remember more and more of your true essence. Remember your co-creative faculties within you. Remember that you are ultimately made of the same substance that creates stars, planets, galaxies, universes. Our presence reminds you of your future potential, yet to be rediscovered within you, including in your DNA template. So you continue to vibrate and maintain a higher vibrational state, allowing you to reach new height of possibilities so that you can choose new level of realities. And as we are with you, we also welcome the presence of many enlightened interstellar groups who vibrates at different level. The oscillation between the fifth, sixth, seventh, and countless dimensional presence. We invite you to receive each and every of these vibrational presence as a source of inspiration, as a source of opening your mind, your heart, to new possibilities. It is time to free yourself from the old historical memories, stories, and any other limitations. It is time to free yourself, your mind, your heart, and your body from any projected limitations. For our presence reminds you of your huge, endless, limitless energy, your light. Truly, what you can co-create is boundless. Can you feel also the omnipotence, omnipresence of the universal field that brings all of us once again in unity consciousness? So let's just keep breathing gently, allowing yourself to emerge into this unification field, allowing each cell of your body to vibrate in oneness, to unify your thoughts, your mental abilities with the grace and the wisdom of your heart. And as you keep vibrating to a higher octaves of light, to countless presence of dimensions and intelligence, it is truly an invitation to accept who you are and to be in oneness with all of us. As above, so below. Can you also feel the presence of Gaia, her consciousness, the elementals, the spirits of nature? Remember that you are evolving into a very intelligent and synchronized ecosystem of life. Honor the life in you. Honor life as you, so that you can remember reverence for all sentient life. It is the core essence of your reascension and your path to enlightenment. Just remember deep in your being every day, in every way. And now, we invite you to feel gently through the presence of the Stargate the many enlightened intergalactic groups, including the Arcturians, the Masters of Light, the presence of the Supreme One, to start to feel that you will gently reintegrate your reality, to gently return into your room, and to fully re-enter your physical form in complete consciousness and sacred alignment. Just feel that as you are reintegrating your body, you also reintegrating all the multi-layers of energy, divine presence, and frequencies. To feel and see that you are returned now in complete energetic alignment, holding more peace, holding more light. So let's take a deep, grounding breath and release. And gently you are welcome now to open your eyes and bring yourself back into complete centerness. Welcome back, everyone. Yes, welcome back.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh.
Wow, what a beautiful journey.
Mm. Ah,
Okay, so we're gonna bring this experience to a gentle close, and for this one, we're just gonna invite all of you around the world to
just take a moment to connect with each other. And just allow these energies that have touched us to remain with us. And for those of you that are drawn to move deeper into this experience of Atlantis and Lemuria, you can join us either on the island in the Azores, or you can join us online as well. So we invite you, if you're touched by this, to come and share the experience of bringing the energies of Lemuria and Atlantis both together and freeing them, as Viviane said, from the old, crusty limitations, negativity that have been associated with those places up until now. So, thank you all from around the world. Thank you, Viviane, for this beautiful information and energy you shared with us. And we look forward to the next time. Mm.